Yo, 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 yo. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? And welcome back to the lower lobby. No, that's not right. It's welcome back to the lower lobby. I'm trying to imitate an elevator voice, which I don't know if I'm very good at it, but yeah, guys, this is the third episode of this podcast, so bear with me as I, learning curves, get adjusted to this new passion project. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of boundaries, setting boundaries, having boundaries, so you can just have a happier life, more balanced life. I'm going to start by kind of going through a little list of what can happen when you don't set boundaries. And then I'm going to tap into some of my very recent and very personal experiences that I've had with not setting boundaries and not respecting other people's boundaries and the consequences of that, which can be very, very severe, even if you think it's something so silly. Sometimes if someone sets a boundary, even if you think it's kind of dumb, just respect it, because that might be the end of the road for you and that person. Some people are savage just about their boundaries, so we'll get into that later though. All right, let's start. So what can happen when you don't set boundaries? So first of all, you can experience burnout. Okay, so after prioritizing other people's needs before your own, or overextending yourself by constantly saying yes to others and just basically never saying no because you're a people pleaser and you're yeah, sure, whatever, I'll do whatever you want. It's not a problem, really. You get burned out. Another side effect of that is you lose your sense of personal identity. So by saying yes to everything, you're oftentimes saying no to yourself. I mean, I get it, the go with the flow type of personality, that is me. The other day I talked about it in my first episode, my friend asked me to help her move storage units, but it was an hour away, and the day of, she never confirmed fully, and then the day of, she needed me there within the hour, and it was an hour away. And it was just oh my gosh, I feel I have to say yes, but I don't want to do it. And I ended up calling my mom and asking my partner, should I go? Should I do this? And my mom was dude, prioritize yourself. You obviously don't want to go. Just say yes to yourself, right? So yeah, when you start to say yes and people pleasing with others, you disconnect from yourself and what you truly want, and you can become out of touch with your own desires. So it's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay to put yourself first, even if it means letting someone else down temporarily, because you're your most important person in life. And imagine, let's say I were to have said yes to my friend to help her move. I would have spent an hour traveling just by train with multiple, whatever, that's not the point, how many transfers there are, but I would have spent half my day going to help her, and then we couldn't even hang out afterwards. It was just and sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's worth it. Go help your friend. But if it feels you're taking away from your life and you're doing something out of obligation, don't do it, because then you're just going to resent your friend, and then you're going to resent yourself, and then you're going to be damn bro, I just wasted half a day doing something that wasn't really my responsibility or something that I didn't really want to do. So yeah, you get the point. Okay, moving on. You can start to experience resentment in relationships. So over time, this unbalanced give and take. So when you're just giving and giving and giving because a person is asking and asking, and you're a giver, and you're a kind, loving person, and so you say yes, it can lead to feelings of bitterness or resentment or anger towards people that you love. And this is something that I experienced with a close friend of mine, who was my roommate. And it wasn't even an unbalance based on like things she was asking of me, but it was more so rather like her imposing, or not imposing, but like freely expressing her opinions about my life, my relationship, what I was doing, what I should be doing, kind of like, and like, I hate to say this word, but like I felt so cornered oftentimes because she was in a position of power. Like I was staying in her home, like I was paying her money for rent, but it wasn't like, she's my friend, so she wasn't charging me like the full amount she would normally charge me. So, and at the same time, I had like just moved to the city and I was like going through a breakup and I was like a total freaking mess of a person. And so she took on this like motherly role, and it like strained our friendship because I felt like in debt to her because she's letting me stay here. And I'm like kind of a mess, and she is not in the same way. So I like wouldn't set boundaries and be like, hey babe, like I love you so much and I appreciate that you care about me, but like this is my boundary, can you please can you please like not come into my room while I'm eating and start telling me what I need to do with my life, because I don't like that. That's a boundary. Or can you please not talk negatively about my relation? And I'm using like sort of like what the first one was a real example that I felt that I was just like, bro, like let me eat my Texas toast in peace, like what the flip, but or like for example, she would like, and this is a person I love, okay, and someone I really want to have on the podcast and do a series with. Like she's amazing, like she's literally one of the coolest people, most unique people I know. But yeah, essentially just not setting boundaries and telling people, listen, this is what I'm comfortable with, and these categories of life, like these opinions you might have, like this is what I'm uncomfortable with. Because like the more you allow people to impose, like ask things of you or their beliefs on you or their opinions of what you should do with your life, you start to feel this like heavy weight and you start to feel small. Like I noticed that like I was letting myself be mothered kind of by a friend of mine, and I began to resent her over time because I felt like she wasn't giving me space. I felt like she didn't respect me, like she was constantly looking down on me because she was constantly trying to advise me or fix me. And it was like, I don't need to be fixed. I need a friend. I don't need a mother. I have a mother. And well, yeah. And so anyways, that was the thing. Okay, moving on. Definitely set boundaries. Okay, this is why it's so important. And also that like friendship, it literally almost fell apart. Like, and we've been friends for over 5 years, and when I tell you that it was like that bridge was this close to being burned, it was so close to being burned. But like we finally, after like 3 months of being apart, because I ended up leaving, we finally sat down and like had a conversation, and we started talking about every single thing head on, face to face. And we were able to, after that, like we are now in the best place we've ever been. We have such a deeper understanding of each other, so much more respect for each other because of that. And so like never ever avoid like telling someone, hey, you talking about these topics or you confronting me about these things makes me uncomfortable, or I just don't like it, and I would rather you like not tell me those things or keep those thoughts to yourself, kindly and lovingly. So moving forward, not setting boundaries can increase stress and anxiety. Yeah, like constantly saying yes can create ongoing stress because you might feel like pressure and worried about how others perceive you if you say no, because people get used to you doing like just about everything they say. And so when you say no, they'll be like, what's wrong? Why are you mad at me? It gets hard to say no when you become a yes person. So yeah, stress and anxiety. And also like you'll be worried about how they're going to perceive you. It's like, oh, well, if I say no, then they're not going to like me, or they're not going to invite me because like you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay. Lack of time for self-care. Yeah. So when you basically prioritize other people's needs, you end up not prioritizing yourself, and your personal growth and your own self-care can be neglected. And it can affect your physical and mental health. Totally. Like, something that I have realized is that, like, living in a responsible adult life where, like, you work out, you eat healthy, you do your skincare, you put yourself to bed, you read a book, you journal, you like stretch, do yoga, like you go out, touch grass, like you go to events, have a social life, like all this, like keep up with your emails and messages and work, like all of this, and like have a clean room, clean house, like go grocery shopping, like run errands. All of this takes so much time and energy. Thank you, alarm. And the more you say yes to other people or like things outside of you that want your attention, like you start to realize, like, oh my God, like my life requires so much of my time and energy for it to be the way that I want it to be, that you can start to notice that you just run out of time. Like, cause like if you don't make time for things, like you don't have time for things. That's something I've noticed. Like you literally have to start scheduling your life or like planning, for things specifically, because otherwise they can go by unnoticed. Like that's something I have noticed from my personal experience. Another thing that can happen is codependency, which is so true. Lack of boundaries can lead to codependent relationships where your self-worth becomes tied to fulfilling others' needs or just making sure that they like you. This is so true. And this dynamic can be emotionally draining and hard to break. 100%. Like, okay, I'll go back to my roommate, like Ari. So when I was living here, I was in a hard place. I was in a tough place in my life, and she was like taking on this like motherly, like, support role in a way. And I can 100% say we developed like a codependent relationship where I felt like everything that happened in my life, I had to communicate with her, and like what she thought or her opinion of my situation would dictate what that situation, like, or how I define that situation. And so it became like we were like tied to each other, just like a mom, like an overprotective mother with a child. It did lead to that because like and then the worst part was like my sense of self-worth was already low. And so like if there was something that was going on, like, and Ari like didn't approve, or like she had something to say, I just like depending on what she would like say or think would define like how I viewed myself, or like what she thought about like my relationship, or like I would look at my partner differently. But like then again, like I was talking a lot of smack about my partner. I mean, he's the best, but like it's like, when like your partner is like the best, but they can also be like the worst, but like never the worst in a bad way, but just like I have this sort of partnership where I mean, I'm like 99.9% sure like he's my twin flame. So it's a little bit of a different sort of inner, like, what's the word? It's a little bit of a different like or just a relationship, I guess. We interact differently than a normal couple would, and like if I haven't done the work personally, it like reflects in him, and like it's almost like we, like, as much as I have grown or evolved in my life, like that's how much he has grown and evolved, and like the things I want to see in him are the things that I need to do for myself. So it's like really just frustrating, can be hard. So I don't blame Ari at all for talking smack about my partner, because like that's pretty much all I did with her was just like, bitch, oh, whoops, pretty much just like complain about things and whatever. Anyways, moving on. Things that can happen when you don't set boundaries: you perpetuate toxic dynamics. 100%. Not setting boundaries allows unhealthy behaviors, manipulation, guilt tripping to persist unchecked, and over time this can harm both you and your relationship. And it's so true. 100%, 100%. Like, not setting boundaries leads to toxicity because essentially, like, you're not giving other people guidelines on how they can and cannot interact with you, and you start to accept a lot of behaviors that don't make you feel good, that don't make you comfortable. And so and that leads to toxicity because people will just like walk all over you, or they just, I mean, and I'm not talking about Ari anymore. Ari is the best, you guys. Ari is the best. Like, Ari, if you're watching this, I love you so much. And like, sorry if I'm like using you as an example, but it was like, you know, what happened recently, like it was pretty intense, and I learned a lot, and I'm super grateful for that experience. And okay, moving on. Loss of respect. So true. I experienced that. Like, lack of boundaries leads to lack of respect. And yeah, people can unintentionally take advantage of you, of your flexibility, yada, yada. And this can make you feel undervalued or disrespected. Totally. Okay. Communicating your needs later. That's true. So like so it's always better and easier to set your boundaries earlier on. Like, as soon as you notice something that someone does something that you don't love or are not fond of, like, set the boundary right then and there. Like, I don't like that. Can you not talk about my mom? Like, I'd appreciate if you don't mention my mom, because like it makes me uncomfortable when you talk about my family, you know, things like that. Just like immediately say it, because then later on it's harder to set those boundaries. And let's see, boundaries. Okay, so that was the end of like my list. Boundaries are important because well, they're not about pushing people away. They're about creating healthy, sustainable relationships that respect both parties' needs, and they allow you to protect your mental and emotional health. They allow you to foster mutual respect and understanding, and prioritize your own well-being while still being present for others. Love that. Yeah. Thanks, chat. I called chat. Well, I asked chat to name itself, and it was like Alex. And I was like, what? No, my name was Alex. You can't be Alex. Pick another name. And then they're like, okay, call me Sage. And I was like, word. Okay, Sage. So thank you, Sage, for this list. But yeah, let's go into, I have another great story about boundaries. And this one has to do with my sister, my half sister, but she's my sister. And right now we are not on very good terms. She does not like me very much, like at all. And it kind of sucks. You know, it really sucks because I feel very misunderstood. She thinks kind of just the worst of me, I would say. And we like didn't grow up together. I kind of met her for the first time really when I was like 15 years old, and I met my dad, my biological dad, for the first time, and like my half brother for the first time. He's like only like a couple months younger than me, and whatever, but that's not the point. That's for another episode. But no, the point is, a year ago, I was staying at my dad's house, which is where my sister lives. And she loves makeup. She like loves makeup and beauty and like fashion. And she has like one of those what's it called? Like one of those like makeup counters with like lights. And she has like 10 drawers, and each one was just like, I would say she had like 50 different foundations and like 100 different lipsticks and like 100 different liners and like 100 different, or more, I would say more because it seemed like more, but like lip glosses. And so I at the time like didn't have a lot of makeup, and I was going to like my other half sisters, because I have a lot of half siblings, my other half sister's birthday party, and I was like, hey sis, can I borrow some of your makeup to like wear for the party, because it was like at a fancy restaurant in Miami. And she was like, yeah, sure, of course. And I was like, thank you. And so I go and I use it, and I find so at that time I didn't have any glosses. Like I was just like not in my like having all the things I need era, I was just like lacking and money was tight and whatever. So she has like this little, like, I think I forgot the name of it, but it was like this little lip gloss, and I could tell she had gotten like a gift set where it comes with like 3 of the same, and they were all untouched. She had so many lip glosses, which is besides the point, okay? But yeah, so I started using that lip gloss. I took it with me because I wanted to reapply. Lip gloss is something you have to reapply, okay? And so I used it, and I was there at the house for like a week in total, and so I probably used it for like the next like 3 or 4 days because I really liked the lip gloss. Mind you, it was like, it doesn't matter the price, but it was like an $8 lip gloss, okay? So at the end of it, okay, when I had to leave, I was like, sis, can I borrow some of your makeup to take with me on this trip? Because I was actually going to my best friend's wedding. It was very expensive, and so whatever. And it was like very fancy wedding, like a 3-day destination wedding, and like I literally used the last of my money to go because it was like my one childhood best friend, and if I didn't go, I would just never forgive myself. So I asked my sister for makeup, and she said no, and I was like, okay. And it's because I had like sent her a picture. I had found some makeup, like a powder and a foundation and whatever, and had sent it to her, and I was like, can I borrow this? She was like, no. And I was like, all right. And so I put everything back except for the lip gloss, the god darn lip gloss. And so whatever. So I ended up taking the lip gloss, you guys. I took the lip gloss even though she had told me no. And what did I do? I took the lip gloss. I didn't really say anything. And mind you, like I took it, I had used it for a couple days, and like I felt kind of bad because it was like new. And so I was like, I'll take it and I'll buy her a new one. It's not a big deal, right? Like to me, it's not a big deal. And so that's what I did. I took the lip gloss, and like a couple weeks later, I ordered her a new one on Amazon, and I like sent it to her as a gift. And I like wrote in the note, like, so sorry, should have told you sooner, like I feel super bad, like, but thank you so much, like here's a replacement, whatever. And oh my freaking god, you guys, she did not take it well. She did not take it well at all. And I don't know if she'll ever listen to this, but if she does listen to this, she'll probably just not like that I'm talking about it. But like, dude, this was like a really crazy, this was a really big deal. She was like, you don't know what you've done. Basically disowned me, disowned me, like said like we're not blood, which we are, we're half siblings. But it just, oh my gosh, it unleashed this fury, and it really unleashed some nasty things. And it even on my side, because then she got so mad, and then I felt so guilty, and then I like sent her a 10-minute voice note, like sobbing basically, and then she was like, "You're pathetic," and just it was just really bad. It's still a year later, you guys. A year later, I'm supposed to go visit my dad, and I mean, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's like so deeply messed up. But like a year later, we're still there's still drama over the lip gloss. And now going to my dad's place and spending time with my dad, who I love so much, and reconnecting with my sister and my stepmother, I thought it would be so nice. But now it's like they don't want me there because I took a lip gloss. And it's not about the lip gloss, it's about the lack of respect, right? She said no, she set a boundary, and I disregarded that boundary, or at least I didn't think it was a big deal because she has so many. And I mean, in hindsight 2020, because even my dad said, he's like, you could have not said anything and we wouldn't have had this problem, right? But like, I'm such an honest gal, and I wanted to do the right thing, and I was like, no, I have to, because I even thought maybe I can just buy the lip gloss and just put it back in her drawer, like she won't notice, like she has so many, right? But no, I had to buy it for her, and just like not even confront her, but just send a note on Amazon, and because I just had to own up to it. and it has led us down a terrible path. And so I will end it with that. Respect people's boundaries. Respect their boundaries. If they set a boundary, respect it, because even the tiniest little thing that seems like just some BS, like, this is dumb. She set this boundary, but like, it's a dumb boundary. No, respect the boundary, respect it, because because it can just lead to a nightmare, like a nightmare of a situation. And it has, over a lip gloss. So anyways, it feels nice. It feels nice to just unload all my trash, all my toxic trash onto this audio and podcast. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching or for listening. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for being here, I guess. I already said that. Okay. All right. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm still getting used to this. I don't know how to sign out. Guys, I love you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao. Oh, peace and blessings. That's what it was. Peace and blessings. And what was the last part? Peace and blessings. I forgot it. Guys, peace. Peace out. Good job. Oh, gosh.